Hey, what's the deal? This your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag, you know what I'm saying? This is the second video of the day, you know what I mean, of after Thanksgiving, you know what I'm saying? And, oh man, again, like this is, as of this recording, I'm actually on the way coming back to Connecticut, from Connecticut to New York City, you know what I mean? Like I enjoyed my time here. You know what I mean? Like I really, really enjoyed my stay. I love Connecticut. Connecticut is, Stamford, Connecticut is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It's different compared to, New York City. And so don't get me wrong, I love New York City, but ain't nothing like, outside of New York. You know what I mean? And let me put this here. All right. We good to go. We good to go. You know what I mean? So this is another discussion video that I wanted to put out because, again, like, there's no real news. As of this recording, there's no real news. You know what I mean? Because both of these videos are actually being recorded on a Thursday, but I'm not in the mood to put something out on Thursday. So I say fuck it. Let's do it around Black Friday. You know what I mean? And I just want to do a discussion video. You know what I'm saying? A quick little discussion video. And what I want to talk about is the, these awards that the pro wrestling journalism, that pro wrestling journalists put out, right? And people get all up in their feelings and, some people get happy, some people get mad and stuff, because of one group's opinion, right? And so don't get me wrong, I love Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Like, I used to collect that and other magazines growing up, like, Wrestling Insider. There's a bunch of stuff. Well, that was like the key magazine. You know what I mean? Like, of course, you had WWF magazine. You also had WCW magazine at one point, right? But it was always Pro Wrestling Illustrated. That was like the magazine that was basically kind of like a wrestling fan, a fantasy wrestler's dream. You know what I mean? So they had dream matches. They said, well, is this guy going to leave such and such to go to the WWF? He's going to leave the NWA. And will we ever see this match between this world champion from the WWF and this world champion from the NWA? And yada, yada, yada. Right? So basically, again, they are pretty much like, like fucking Sports Illustrated, at that time for pro wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, it was like the top, it was like the top, pro wrestling publication, in the industry. You know what I'm saying? And with them, they always give out their awards, right? They always have awards for the year, which is basically the PWI 500. Right. And so, people get all up in their feelings and such with this award. Right. But they also have other stuff too. Like they have like the heel of the year, the face of the year, tag team of the year, world champion. They got a bunch of different awards. Right. Which again, I think it's cool because, like this is a publication that, people respect. Right. That people get praise and respect for, right? And of course, WWE got their own. You know what I'm saying? Remember, WWE has the Slammies. They have their own thing, right? Because that's their stuff. But just like everything in pro wrestling, like even with publication and journalism and such, it's all fucking work. You know what I'm saying? It's all fucking work. I mean, the wrestling news is news. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, they got free agency. Like you got people who are free agents and people who are leaving the company to go to the next promotion and such people being released. Like, that's real. But of course, you got wrestlers who try to dumb down, rumors because they want to keep the illusion of kayfabe alive, right? Which makes sense. Which makes a lot of sense. I mean, you do that. You see that now with the internet. You know what I mean? Like you see a whole lot of that in this climate, right? In this modern generation part of wrestling. Even in the 2010s, you see, wrestlers, burn down rumors of them going to another promotion and so on and so forth, right? And then they wound up going anyway. Why? Because they want to cool down the flames of where they're going, right? But social media now, like it's the biggest platform for them to cool down those flames, right? But let's get back into the PWI 500, right? Now, people get all up in their feelings with these publications. You know, some people get upset. Oh, I don't know why this person was 8th, this person was 7th, or I don't know why this person won the award and stuff. It's a fucking work. It's a work. You know what I'm saying? It's a fucking work. It doesn't mean shit. You know what I mean? It means stuff to, you know, it might mean stuff to the wrestling fans and such, but, you know, it doesn't, like, this doesn't change the fact with storylines and angles and such, you know, because if one person is number one in the PWI 500, that doesn't mean that person's going to go on to the biggest event of the company and be in the main event for the world championship. It doesn't mean that. You know, basically the PWI 500 is going off of what, you know, the accomplishments of what that wrestler has done within the last 365 days of that calendar year, right? And it's not a fan voting thing either. It's not voted by fans. This is mostly voted by, you know, again, that's why it's a work, because it's voted by, you know, the publicists of, you know, Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Same thing with, you know, with Dave Meltzer's 5-star awards, right? Same thing with the award, with the Wrestling Observer newsletter awards, right? The Wrestling Observer awards. Same shit. Even with the Hall of Fame is a fucking work. It's a work. No, I mean, it's a work. And yes, it's a work when it comes down to business because, you know, they got to sell money, right? I mean, sell money. They got to sell things to make money, right? And yes, it's a Hall of Fame because, yes, it does mean a lot, right? It does mean a lot. But again, it's not going to change the outcome of storylines and angles. It doesn't mean anything. You know, I remember Jonathan Gresham was upset at Tony Khan because, you know, the way how he was being used in AEW, and he showed Tony Khan that, listen, I was 8th in the PWI 500. Again, it's a fucking work. It doesn't mean anything. Now, should it, you know, would I like for it to mean more than just a work? Of course. You know, because I would like for it to, you know, to me more in terms of wrestling's values and how much they should make and everything. But again, it's a fucking work. It's a work. But it's the fans on the internet that basically make it, you know, it makes it more than what the fuck it really is. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I love the PWI 500. I think it's great. I think it's great. I mean, there's some stuff that I agree with. There's some stuff I don't agree with, right? But at the end of the day, again, it's a work. Just like, you know, just like belts. Belts are props. Yeah, I mean, from the outside, it looks good. Don't get me wrong. It looks fucking great. From the outside, of course. Of course, from the outside as a fan, you're like, oh, man. You know, like the belt looks fucking great and such. But on the inside, it's just a prop. It's just a prop. You know, it's just a prop. You know, that means you're basically making the most money. You know what I'm saying? You're making the most money out of, well, not necessarily either. You know, a world championship is a world championship, right? But again, it's a fucking prop. It's a prop. It's a prop. Now, do wrestlers want to win the World Heavyweight Championship? Of course. Of course they do. There's people who take it seriously. I mean, fucking Bret Hart takes it seriously. You know, he took it more seriously than anything, right? But it's a prop. It's a fucking prop. Same thing here with the PWI 500. It's a work. It doesn't mean shit. You know, because again, it is not going to, you know, change the outcome of storylines and such. I'm sorry to say, it's not going to change shit. It's a great feat to have for your resume, but it doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? They ain't shit. They even got the most overrated. They even got the most overrated wrestler of the year. You know what I'm saying? And that tells you enough right there. Because again, this is what they are thinking. It's the same thing like in the Baseball Hall of Fame. You know, they got a committee, right? Pro Wrestling Illustrated has a fucking committee on who they think should be, the top wrestler in the game and shit like that. But thanks so much, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? I just wanted to put this out there. You know what I mean? I hope y'all had, a good Thanksgiving. I hope y'all have a safe Black Friday tonight. You know what I mean? Because shit's gonna get crazy. You know what I'm saying? And as this record, Black Friday is still going on, but I think it's gonna melt down during the evening and such. All right? So I'm about to be out. I'm gonna holler at y'all tomorrow. Peace.